I used to think goals had to be set up in a particular environment or under particular circumstances. Till I met a colleague of mine who introduced me to setting goals in everything. So right now I'm doing my walk, and I'm doing a forest walk today. I moved away from the city center to come refresh and have a good experience, but I've tried to take a walk through the bushes and the forest to have a good experience with nature and also reconnect. So this is something I learned the last 2 days, as I've been here trying to retreat and get myself in order and make things go well. I met a friend, a lady who I chose to take a run with. I rarely run, I'm just learning how to run of late. And I've been doing about 5 kilometers, sometimes under 5 kilometers, sometimes 4, sometimes I would walk. Like I didn't have a particular strategy. So, but as we went to run, she pushed me so much. She pushed me so much to make sure we complete at least 7 kilometers every day, whether I was walking or I was running. And I noticed something, a pattern she had. She had this tracker on her phone, and she told me she has a weekly target of doing, I think, 42 kilometers every week. That was a target. And she told me, yesterday I skipped, today is the day I have, and I need to compensate to be able to cover up for the days I've not run. Now, initially, I didn't have that in my plans. I would wake up, and if I felt like I wanted to run, I would run. If I felt like I wanted to do 2 kilometers, I'll do 2 kilometers. This is a bit scary and a bit quiet. I don't know if anything happened to me here. Who would really find me? I better get out of the forest anyway. So, I would feel like whatever I wanted to do is what I did. And then I noticed the pattern. On that day when we ran, on the days when we ran, she had a target and a goal of what she wanted to accomplish in terms of steps, in terms of pace, in terms of distance. And every time we tried, I pushed, and at least I matched her level. And that is the first time I was able to do something beyond what I was doing before. Outside, I'm out of the forest now. Now, this is what I learned. I've not been practicing goals in terms of everything, but I realized she had a goal for that particular day. And because of that goal, she was working hard to achieve that goal. And now I go back to goal setting. I've set so many goals, but I've not set goals in certain areas of my life. That situation told me goals don't have to be in one particular part. Let's say accomplishment of certain tasks or doing something. Goals have to be everywhere. In your fitness journey, in your life journey, in your relationship journey, and they don't have to be really so huge. So today, before I close off the day, I've set my target for this whole week to have at least 2,000 steps. I've realized I'm not so much of a guy who appreciates running. I believe walking is more of my thing. But now I feel like with this, it's going to be a beginning of a new chapter, of a new goal set, of a new something that has meaning, that also has purpose, that also has a goal. And I've also learned goals don't have to be only in your fitness journey. Goals can be in other areas. Goals can be maybe in the weights you lift. Let's say saying I would want to go to 100 kgs in my deadlift or 200 kgs in my deadlift. Goals can be being able to save this amount of money, being able to send this kind of marketing emails, being able to get this number of leads, being able to do ABCD. Now, these goals are specific to a particular field where you are. For example, in my walking, I should set goals in my walking. If it comes to my religious journey, I should set goals in my religious journey. If it comes to goals in my business, I should set goals which are specific to my business. Initially, I've been setting goals that are so generalized, and actually in most cases I've not been meeting these goals. Now that I've set these specific goals, like I learned from her, I feel like now there is more organization and this is more achievable to do. So this is what I'm thinking. If you want to set goals, don't set general goals. Set specific goals, specific to particular things you want to accomplish. For example, if you're in fitness and you're running, set your running goals. If you're walking, set your walking goals. If you're swimming, set your swimming goals. If you're weightlifting, set your weightlifting goals. If you're trying to quit alcohol, quit a habit, set your goals around that particular subject matter. If it comes to your business, set goals that are specific to marketing, specific to product development, specific to certain timelines, what you have to do, and then also goals in your general life. This gives you a little bit of some clarity and also gives you goals in different areas, because all these areas are not the same. Another thing about goals don't have to stay static. Goals can change any day, any time. For example, right now, I just want to hit a certain number of steps. If I accomplish this and I feel comfortable, I can change these steps and increase the goal, or alter the goal, change the goal, or change the direction of the goal. For example, in case I stop, I lose interest in running, I lose interest in walking, I lose interest in fitness, I could be able to set some other goal, maybe around family, around other things. So goals don't have to be static. Goals can change anytime. And then the other thing is, this one I learned from a video I was watching. There is a guy I watch, he's a South African actor. He's called Kruger. Kruger does funny short clips. And I've been watching him for a while on the internet. So yesterday I landed a video. As I was watching the video, my brain was still around goals. And Kruger said that when he was starting, he was doing videos in English. And these people back home were telling him, don't try to be American. Try to do videos in your home language, in your local language. And he said, my goal is not to be American. My goal is to be international. And over time, me in my country, I've been able to watch Kruger. But there are also other people in different countries that are watching him. People in Pakistan, people in the Philippines. And his brand has grown and his thing has grown. So in that interview, he said, my goal was to be international. And then he said something that was very important. He said, now that I've achieved one of the goals of being international, now the next goal is to improve my productions so that they get to a level where they are better than they are. And something came to my brain. You set one goal, right? That is achievable. Work towards that goal. And then adjust the goal and probably set in another bigger goal. For example, I could be walking 2,000 steps, which I beat very small. And then in the next 1 year, I could be running a marathon, or I could be running marathons across the globe. And who knows? So for now, let's accomplish this goal. So it taught me something about the goals. You set the goals, you finish up one part of the goal. When you accomplish that, you do the other. In other words, break the goal into small steps, accomplish them, and do other things. I hope by the end of this video, you'll have started accomplishing small parts of the goals, or set goals that are specific, that are adjustable, flexible, to fit your need. So let me show you lastly how this place looks like. This is how my view looks like. Beautiful, very beautiful. I moved here to relax and move away from the hustle of the city. And now I need to go back, get into the pollution again, the noise and everything. Thank you for watching. See you later when I do for another video.